Hello everybody and welcome to the start of Realmathon week 4. I cannot believe that Realmathon is almost over. It seems like it was just yesterday that we were chatting about ideas and ways to make it happen, and here we are, it's almost the end. Team Baylor, team fail. Okay, so I have actually started, it is Saturday morning, and I have actually already started 2 books to kick off the week. I'm a decent way through both of them. The first one is the one I'm going to talk about because it won't take quite as long. And that's King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. This is my audiobook for the moment, and it is a fantasy romance about Isildur, who is the daughter of a king in the human kingdom, and the vampires are trying to take over. In order to make peace with them, the king vampire wants her as his bride, and I don't know about this one yet. It's like instant, I don't even want to say attraction, but like insta sex. 30 minutes into the audiobook, which is like 15 pages into the book, we've already had a sex scene. And I'm like, I might need a little bit of build up before we get to that point. So I'm probably 80 pages into this one, so not super far. And it's an easy listen, but I don't think it's going to be a favorite fantasy romance of the year. Now, let's talk about There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. So you remember when we left off last week, I told you that There Is No Saints was a 5-star read, fantastic, spectacular, 10 out of 10, loved it. Okay. I'm wondering if this one is going to get like a 2-star. And it's really frustrating. Cassidy and I are buddy reading this, and we were both so frustrated because this book did not need to happen. It is like a completely different author wrote it. She is trying to redeem the 2 main characters when I didn't want a tortured hero. I wanted a tortured villain, and I wanted him to stay that way. I did not need him or want him to be redeemed because I feel like it's not at all true to the character that she has created, and it's boring. The first, I don't know, I'm like 70% of the way through this book already because I read a lot of it last night on sprints. And the first 70% of this is just, oh, I love you, I'm so obsessed with her. Well, we're just twisted, but not really because we have morals. And I'm like, that's not what we were doing in the beginning of the last book. So I'm frustrated, I'm irritated. This book did not need to happen. There is no plot. It's a lot of backstory behind the characters and why they came to be the way that they are. And for him, that's interesting, but it would be more interesting if he was still cold and calculated and not like falling to mush because Mara is just the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's annoying. And then Mara, I feel like Sophie Lark is trying too hard to make her to make you feel for her and to make her pass this horrific, horrible thing that happened to her, when in actuality, it's just missing the mark. She's pulling too many punches and then trying to do too many other things. And this is gonna sound terrible because if you've read it, her past is effed up, but I just don't care. And I don't know, I'm not loving it. I'm hoping that the end redeems it a little bit, but we completely lost the Shaw plot line, and everything that made this book necessary has just been demolished. And I feel like if instead of getting what we're getting, I would have rather her made There Are No Saints about 100 pages longer and just wrapped it up, because that was so different and so dark that this is just falling right back into the standard contemporary dark, contemporary smutty romance. And I'm like, not really what I wanted, not really what I was expecting. So anyway, there's that one. That stinks. I don't know what I'm going to read after this. Probably start my buddy read of 9 Lives with Rye. It's the new one by Peter Swanson. And I don't know. It's going to be an interesting week. It's also the week of Spring Fling-a-ween, so you guys will be seeing a separate vlog for that. Be on the lookout for that. And I don't know, this weekend's going to be pretty busy because we've got to put up or finish building the gazebo in the backyard, as well as the patio set that I bought for out there. So it's going to be hot and it's going to take forever. So hopefully I can remember to vlog a little bit of that for you guys and show you the finished product if we get it finished. I'm hopeful, but not optimistic. So we'll see. Not a whole lot of reading is going to get read tomorrow. But it is about 10:40 in the morning. I'm waiting on my mom to get here. We're gonna go run a couple of errands, just have a girls' afternoon, and I will check in with you guys sometime later. All right, so is it an Eleanor Reads vlog without a book haul? No, probably not. Really quickly, 2 books that I ordered actually before last week's vlog ended that I didn't get until today. The Fall by Ryan Cahill. This is the itty bitty little novella that goes with the From Blood and Fire series. I loved this novella. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was great. Of note, if you're interested in this series and you just want to try something short, you can get this prequel novella for free if you sign up for his newsletter, which I would highly, highly recommend. I just loved it so much that I wanted to have a finished copy. And then Covers with Cassidy. Cassidy made me buy it. This is Legacy of Ash by Matthew Ward. This is an epic high fantasy multi-perspective novel that she loved. She said that it does slump pretty hard in the middle, but if you know that and you can manage to get through the slump, the beginning is really good. The middle is so-so, but the ending is great. This thing is a beast, but it's really only 800 pages. So I've definitely read longer and not been intimidated by it. I think it's just because it doesn't have Bible pages and the font is thankfully not too terribly tiny. So I'm actually considering reading that one next month if I get time. Fingers crossed. Okay, so that was a really quick, simple little book haul. It's fine, right? It's fine. It's fine. All right, so real quick update. I am about to be working outside in the yard all day. We've got that gazebo to put up, so it is hot. It's not going to be fun. I am not looking forward to it. But before I do, let me give you a quick update on There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. Nope, not the book for me. I can't believe that the first book in this series, or this duology, is going to have gotten 5 stars, and the second one I think is going to come out at a 2. I am so disappointed by this book. It's completely unnecessary. It has an entirely different tone to the first book in the series. So the thing that I liked the most about the first one was that it was very gritty. It was very different. It pulled no punches. It was just dark. And then this one changes course and turns into a standard contemporary romance. And I'm like, where did our cold, calculating, emotionless Cole go? Where did our twisted, demented, bad childhood Mara go? Instead, they're like, oh, I love you. I would do anything for you. And there are still some gritty moments, but they're sprinkled rather than the entire book. And it was just, sadly, it was just really disappointing for me. We had a plot in the first one. The whole point of the second one was to wrap up that plot. Well, I got about 300 pages in before I would say that that plot actually came back into play. And the rest of the book was focused on explaining why they were the way that they were, giving you hints into their childhood. And to be quite honest, I liked when there were no excuses for them, when they just were the way that they were, and they were brutal and calculating and twisted, and that just was what it was. I didn't need a redemptive hero. I didn't necessarily need her backstory. I just wanted, I don't know, I wanted something different, and it turned into a very cookie cutter things that I've seen before in this book, and I wasn't here for it. There was also daddy kink that came out of nowhere. Like, I get Mara has some issues with her dad or with like father figures anyway, and I kind of see what Sophie Lark was trying to do, but it was just gross, and not in a sexy gross way like the first one. It was just downright gross. So I think this one's going to be a 2-star. I don't know how many points it's going to get for Bail. I have not opened up my computer today to look. Not nearly as many as the first one because Cassidy hated it about as much as I did, if not more. So it won't be a Cassidy favorite, that's for sure. I'm also listening to Kings of Battle and Blood and not loving that one either. This is the vampire fantasy romance by Scarlett St. Clair. And this one's not bad per se. It's just, I was expecting a fantasy romance that had a little bit of a plot line. So a lot of times you'll either have like fantasy erotica or fantasy romance, and the romance tends to have a heavier plot. And this has no plot. It's just been sex after sex after sex, and the one plot thread that we have is so very overdone. Queen, princess, marries evil king to save her kingdom, falls in love with him, and is attracted to him, but just can't believe that she is attracted to him. Come on, we've seen this 800,000 times before. So I'm going to keep listening to that one. I mean, it is easy to listen to, and the smut's not terrible. It's just, I don't know, it's just nothing new, nothing special, and I don't know that I am going to love it just because of that. Let's see. So I don't know how much I'm going to get read today because we're going to be outside for forever. This thing's going to take forever to put together. So I will try to give you little snippets here and there of us putting this thing together and what it looks like when it's finished. But anyway, I think that's everything, and I will talk to you guys either tonight or tomorrow.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah.
Okay, so ignore the ladders in the background and the stuff on the table, but it is done. So I'm still going to be putting up some curtains, like netting to keep out bugs and stuff, and I want to get like a little plant, and then I've got some fairy lights that are going to go all the way around. So it still has some work to do, but the structure is up. It only took like 4 weekends, but it's done. I have a little outdoor nook. I am so excited to use this. Okay, so guess what is here? I am so excited. It is the late night crew merch. So let's open it up and see what we think. That is so cute. I love it. I love that so much. Ah! Okay, hello all. I have changed into my late night crew merch, and I am going to update you on my thoughts of King of Battle and Blood. So this is a fantasy romance, and I was honestly expecting a lot more from this book, especially after hearing how much everybody loved A Touch of Darkness so much, but it didn't do it for me. It's a lot of sex. And for me, that doesn't work when I didn't care about the relationship. Like, I guess it's hard for me to say that because I've read erotica before that doesn't really have a super strong relationship and the smut doesn't bother me. But when you pass something off as a fantasy romance and yet I don't feel like there was any romance in it, it was just smut, that's a little frustrating. It was also basically no plot in this. The plot kicked in at like, I don't know, 50, 60 pages from the end. They just tried to shove everything in at the end, and I wasn't feeling it. The lore was not well explained. I don't know. This was not the book for me. It was not terrible. It was pretty decently well written, but I just didn't care, frankly. So I think I'm going to give this one a very, very low 3-star. It came out as a very low 3-star on Callpile. It feels more like a 2.5, so somewhere between a 2.5 and a 3. And thankfully, I did not suffer for nothing because this will get me at negative 23 points against another realm for Bale. So it was very successful as far as that goes. It just wasn't the most successful read. However, I will try A Touch of Darkness because I didn't hate the writing style. I just didn't like the pacing and the plot. So we'll give that one a go at some point. I don't think I'm going to be continuing in the series unless for some reason somebody's like, oh my goodness, it gets so much better and I hated the first one, but probably not going to be continuing. And then I think I'm going to pick up Bone Chip's Wake next because I've got to read that one before, not this coming weekend, but the next anyway. And I need an audiobook and I have it on audio, so I will probably be grabbing that one next. I will keep you guys updated on that. That is the 3rd in the Tide Child series. We're reading that for Backlist Book Club, and it needs to get done. I need to be done with that series. It needs to get done. So I don't know what all I'm going to be doing tonight. I don't think we're sprinting for a change, so I may get a little reading done. I may not, may edit some videos, but we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, so I think that covers everything for now. Good morning, everybody. It is a nice and gloomy day today. I'm on my way to work, and I do have a really long drive again today. So I'm going to be listening to Savage Lover. I decided not to go with the Bone Ships, and I'm just going to do the third in the Brutal Birthright series instead. It's super, super short, and hopefully I can finish it today because Spring Flingoween starts tomorrow, and I get to multi-vlog. So I need to get on track, keep things moving, and I'm excited for this one. I've been needing to read it for a while, so I will update you guys sometime this afternoon when hopefully I've either made a very, very good chunk or completely finished it. Okay, so it is Wednesday, and I wanted to update you guys because I have finished Savage Lover, which is the third in the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I don't know. This one follows Nero, who is one of the brothers of the Italian mafia, and Camille, who is like a mechanic that grew up with him or went to high school with Nero. I enjoyed this one, but I didn't like it as much as the second one for sure. And I don't think I liked it as much as the third one either. It wasn't bad. Still good writing, but there were a couple of things that I didn't love, and I can't really put my finger on it, but I think there was something about this couple that maybe wasn't my favorite, but I don't really know why it didn't 100% work for me. I did want more out of Nero because I was just expecting, because of his wild and craziness in the first two books, that we would have more wild and crazy. But aside from the heist aspect, there really wasn't much. I did like the heist aspect. I did think it was a ton of fun. It was super quick, so I will definitely be moving on to book 4 here pretty soon. Sadly, I want them all on audiobook, and they're kind of expensive because they're only on Audible, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. And that's really all I have been reading so far. I am reading 2 other books for a different vlog, which you guys will see. This one should go up on Saturday. You'll see that on the following Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to read next for Realmathon. Probably Bone Ship's Wake, because I just need to get that done. So we'll see. That's going to be cheating and starting my May TBR early, but I have gotten permission for that. I have gotten permission. I swear. Okay, I think that's all. I'll check in with you guys later. Hey everybody, so it's actually Friday. Sorry for not updating you guys yesterday. I didn't really read a whole lot for Realmathon yesterday, but I have finished a novella since then. It is Death Rider by Zamil. I forget how to say his last name, but I'll post the cover up here so you guys can see it. This is the free prequel novella to Gunmetal Gods, which recently came out and has been getting a lot of buzz. I loved the covers and the premise sounded really interesting, so I thought I would give the prequel novella a try since it's free when you sign up for his newsletter. And ooh, I'm not sure what I thought about this one. I think I liked it. It is a military fantasy mixed with portal fantasy, mixed with horror, mixed with psychological something or another. It's really, really weird, and I'm not 100% sure how I felt about it yet. I think I'm going to give it somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4 star because it is a novella, so I did expect to kind of want more from it. And I'm very curious to see if the first book, like full-length book in the series, is as weird as the novella was. And I'm also curious to see if it would have served me better to read the book first before the novella. I think the novella is intended to kind of give you a sample of his writing, so I'm not really sure why he would do that if you needed book 1 first, but there was a lot of world building that I know I was missing in this prequel novella, and I'm not sure if he just used that to kind of get out all the weirdness and then it's going to move into more of a typical fantasy, because I think it's got some Arabian elements and stuff in it too in the first book. So I will definitely be giving book 1 a try. I was intrigued enough and it was weird enough to make me pause and be very, very interested in the first book. So that one's actually going to get me some pretty good points for bail to kind of wrap everything up in this last week. I'm not sure how many, but it would count as a military fantasy, so I can automatically check off an extra 10 points for that. Not a fantasy romance, so I won't get the extra points there. But I had so much fun this week. I cannot believe that Realmathon is over. I'm probably going to end the vlog here today on the 29th because I don't think I'm going to get anything more read for Realmathon before tomorrow. So probably going to end it here. But if you guys were a part of Team Bail, I hope you had so much fun. I hope you read all of the books. And win or lose, don't worry, we will be back. Bail will rise from the ashes of the trickster god. Don't you worry. But I hope you guys had a great month of reading. I had a great month of reading. My wrap up will be out soon, but I read so many books. It was 23 the last time I looked, which is insane. insane to me. I found some new favorites. I discovered that I like graphic novels. So overall, this readathon was a resounding success for me, and I can't wait to do it again next year. So if you guys had fun and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.